Hello, intrepid viewers. I'm sorry it's been a bit longer than usual for the video, but I am dealing with a family health issue. And just know you're always on my mind, as the old song said. I've done my best to keep up with the news, but by my standards, I've only been getting headlines, but they've been good enough. The headlines have been pretty good, one way and another. Not quite the October surprise they had in mind, I think, intrepid viewers. Okay, so moving on with the madness that is the world, and more particularly the madness that is America in October, we'll be doing the monthly read. But first, I can't help myself. I've got to have a little look at the Yeti and the COVID. So, is it even COVID? Maybe it's swine flu. In any event, we know he's got a very good veterinarian, so he'll probably be all right. So here we go with the Yeti and COVID. The top ranks of the Republicans are getting washed out, aren't they, really? So here we go. Have a look. Always in the wars, in more ways than one. You know, that bumped the debate off the table, that is for sure. So at the root of the issue, here we go. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right, now, just quickly from these, because I don't want this video to be too long because I need to upload it. Now, in the center, he gets the Five of Swords. He is in the wars. People are walking away, or in fact falling away. I think the Amy Barrett thing they all went to, apparently the front two rows, all sorts of people are coming down with it now. So these are the people walking away. It could also, of course, be the American public walking away. He's oblivious. This card, the Five of Swords, is someone who will win at any price. And speaking of prices, what all of this shows is that if you're wealthy and you're able to get, first of all, good timely testing, which is what's needed everywhere. Hello. We can get tests here with a 24-hour turnaround. Why can't America? You've got a much better chance of everything. So this is becoming, although the disease will obviously afflict anybody, and if you're older and if you've got pre-existing conditions, but it's also an issue of social justice. So he is in the wars. Underneath the Hierophant, this is government and law and order. It's his failure, his abject failure to take this issue seriously is now coming back to bite him on his rather substantial behind. In the past, the crossroads, he could have been a grown-up. He could have, in fact, been President Yeti and taken advice, but he didn't. And at the crossroads, he failed to make the right decision, which unfortunately affects 320 million people. Here he is now. He's a prisoner of his own thinking, or lack of thinking and lack of judgment. You know, this is his through line, as I call it. It goes here, Five of Swords, Hierophant. This is part of it. Now he's been trapped by his own behavior. Matter is more. I think he'll probably come through it okay. I doubt very much if he's been shot up with bleach and disinfectant. And I even doubt that he's using the experimental drug. But of course, that is possible. I think he'll recover. But judgment. It's something, it's rocked people. I'm sure it's rocked MAGA world who are coming up with all these mad ideas. How come it's only Republicans getting it and not Democrats? Because the Democrats are wearing masks. They don't get it, do they? They really do not get much. Why are the Republicans getting it? Because they keep meeting in groups of 6 and 8 and 7,000 with no masks and wondering why. Here we go. Now, off and running for October. This is what we want to know about. So I shall do the Dems on the left and the irresponsible, power-grabbing kindergarten fascists of the GOP on the right. They'll have a card in the middle, which is the signifier for America for October. Okay, let's look. All right. The Lovers, which is the coming together. Ah, it seems so unlikely, but let's see what it is talking about. Because, of course, depending where the cards fall, this is about pacts and agreements. Okay. So what's going to happen for the Dems? Oh, they get my Republican card. How weird. All right. Look, you'd have to say that the Dems cards are better than I thought they'd be. I'm somewhat relieved to report. They start with the 10 of Cups. To a certain extent, this episode this week, I hate to say it, but is a gift to the Democrats. I think this is also still washing up from the debate. You know, the debate itself has come and gone, but the impact will be around for a while. A digression, viewers. You know, most of you would know that Dave Johnson from Moonride and I debriefed after the debate. And as an Australian, I had a particular take, even though I'm immersed in this stuff. And when the Yeti was sort of frothing at the mouth and carrying on and being vicious and rude and vile, I went, yeah, now anything else? You know, totally to be expected. Whereas I think Dave was pointing out, and he was right, that I think many Americans, even most Americans, were highly offended by his behaviour in that debate. And I can only put that down to a certain extent, people have stopped listening to him, even those who sort of support him. And so they made this decision, oh, it's the presidential debate. I'm going to sit down with the kids and we're going to watch this presidential debate. And at some point early on, people had to say to themselves as little units, you know, I actually don't want my kids to be watching this crude, vile, primitive behaviour from the President of the United States. And I think people were sort of shocked anew. So, the Dems, the Three of Wands, this is waiting for their ship to come in. Now, nothing not to like about that. We know all the hideous voter suppression that is going on. You've got your routine voter suppression in Republican states. That's been happening continuously, and you've got the DeJoy pulling out the post boxes and stuff. You have the governor of Texas. This has fallen into another digression already, and I'm only on the second card. The governor of Texas saying there'll only be one place in each county where you can take your mail-in ballot. Some of these counties are 2,000 square miles. I think this might be a little bit irksome for people. If I was a 76-year-old Republican and I was expected to drive an 800-mile round trip or something to drop it off, I wouldn't be happy either. What are they thinking? So this bodes well for the Democrats. It's like it's got to critical mass now. Four of Pentacles, they're holding on. It's not a slam dunk. They've got to preserve their resources. They've got to keep working, but holding on. Why am I thinking Pelosi? I think Pelosi actually still has some cards to play. I think she's got some information close to her chest. They might have their own October surprise here. Now, women celebrating. I'm loving that. Don't forget this is October, not November. So in other words, people might be feeling much better during October from the Democrats' point of view, but November's the big one. Now we go over to the side, the filthy and the corrupt, and just in case you're a new viewer, no, this channel is not fair and balanced. You have your own echo chambers. This is one for people who think and care. Okay, so clearing that up, they're just going to race over the top, but things are rushing at them. Like it's whack-a-mole. You know, they just put out one fire and here comes another looming over the horizon because one or other of them has made some stupid maneuver. Ace of Pentacles, yes, money can be, and I think is, in this case, fool's gold. So I don't think the money's going to help them over the line in October for winning people over. Remember, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago, the Yeti announced every senior would get $200 in the post. Well, they'd be waiting for that, wouldn't they? You know, God knows, you'd be a decade older by the time your check arrived. But not only that, there are no checks because he decided in the middle of the night on his own that the pharmaceutical companies would pay for it because then he could say, here's $200 towards pharmaceuticals. I know, I'll get Big Pharma to pay. And people were rung up and they said, are you mad? No, that's just no. So they're getting stupider. What's at stake? America itself. Yes, we know this. America must stand up at this time. This is a turning point that will be talked about for 500 years. This is America's time to act against these people. They will continue with their hidden agendas. That is the only thing they know. They'll be very sneaky, they'll be very vicious, and they'll stop at nothing. So, not immense revelations. Let me just quickly have a look at the astrology for October. Now, bear in mind, if there's real astrologers watching, this is not my attempt to be an astrologer. This is my tarot attempt just to see what energies come up astrologically that could be important. And I'm curious about this Lover's card. I think it could be the bringing together of people over all this. If debate was one thing, COVID, let's expect a third thing. It's going to push some of the middle into the Dem camp. So astrologically, what have we got in October? Oh, they're upside down. Okay, we've got Capricorn. Oh no, they weren't upside down, so it was Capricorn reversed. Pisces right way up. Oh God, they're all over the place. I don't think we'll take any of them as reversals. My cards are obviously mixed up. So we've got Capricorn, Pisces, and the Moon. So the energies around those. This is interesting. Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. You wouldn't know it by the belly dancer image, but are very conservative, very dyed-in-the-wool, doing things the way they've always been done, not a thrill seeker. So the Capricorn energy is operating. People are very worried and will still be worried even after they watch a tarot reading. So it's that Hierophant energy disguised in that card. But the next two are highly female. you've got Pisces, water energy, and moon, water energy. So there's a dreamlike quality. It's also, you've got to watch with Pisces, because this is deception, in the sense of, you know how people are very confused at the moment. Well, not surprisingly, they've had huge whole companies and whole tracts of information coming through that are very misleading. So there's a lot of insecurity around this and almost flipping people out. It's very stressful energy. The moon, it's different in this deck. There's she looks a bit like Lagertha from Game of Thrones, doesn't she? Moon energy is about the intuitive. It's about the deep unconscious. So it's really, really, really important. I'm hoping this Lovers card's going to come into play as the election gets closer. More people who were sort of going, well, I don't really like the Dems or whatever, are going to think there are more important things at stake than my little sentiments. But these two cards, I'm saying to you all, my dear and beloved intrepid viewers, look after yourself in this time in terms of physically, but also mental health. You have to take time out away from the news. That's really important, whether that's one day a week or consume much less of it. But also it's a highly intuitive time. So this is a time to put positive protection around yourself, around those close to you, and further out, even as far as the world. And that's quite a good simple meditation to do. So you can just lie on your back on the floor, on a towel or something, calm down, breathing deep into the belly, take those breaths and nourish yourself from the inside out through the layers towards those you know and beyond. We all know there's a huge chance it won't be decided on the night, so this is going to play out. So you can't think, oh, I'll just hang on until the 4th of November and then everything will be normal. No. There's a long way to go. So please, I beg you, look after yourselves, okay? So, I just wanted to answer a question that I got from quite a few people. Is the Yeti faking about this? Will he just come out and say, I got over it, therefore everyone can get over it? He's entirely capable of saying that, of course, and that's part of this confusion. But I don't think people are falling for it at this time. They might have 2 months ago, but not at this time. It's getting to the pointy end. So how much do I love you? This much. Bye now. Ciao, ciao. If I can find the button, I'll be gone.